do you know the Norwegian training? Shame on me, I didn't know that. Since I started teaching how to train in English and teaching moderate run, many people asked me whether what I call moderate run and what double threshold in the Norwegian training are same or not. Every time I got asked, I answered, I didn't know much about the Norwegian training, honestly. However, I gradually got interested in the Norwegian training and made a decision to learn from a 5,000 meter Olympian who ran 13:06 named Marius Bakken. You see, just like all the Japanese people cannot make sushi well, all the Norwegian people don't know the Norwegian method, and all the Norwegian athletes do not use the Norwegian method. But Marius Bakken wrote the book, which was titled The Norwegian Method. That means at least he knows something, right? So, I bought his book and started reading it. Let me get to the point about moderate run. The double threshold and my moderate run are different. The Norwegian method is double threshold neither. Double threshold is only a part of the Norwegian method. However, the core concept is completely same as me. Repeating not very hard, but effective workouts more frequently is much better than doing very hard workouts less frequently. He personally learned from other top athletes and his personal experience too. Very often, athletes who get stronger are athletes who always keep good results in training. In other words, they don't make the maximal effort in training, so that they are able to recover faster and keep doing good workouts. This is the reason why I say the most common mistake amateur runners make is training only very hard and easy. They go for train hard or stay home method. The reason why is very simple. It's because most people believe the harder you train, the faster you get. Utterly nonsense and totally crap. Why do I say this? Because I'm the most person who made this mistake. Meaning, I trained very hard and didn't get as fast as I wanted, or I didn't get as fast as my effort. In a sense, my effort was in vain. I know that making a good result is not everything about running, and that's why I still keep running probably more seriously than anybody else here. However, it is not a good theory. It's okay to run slow because you don't train much, but it's very bad to run slow with hard training. Anyway, he observed many good athletes and noticed that usually athletes who get faster mostly do not run in front in training. They hide in a pack with many reserves. The former 5,000 meter Japanese record holder, Mr. Matsumiya Takayuki, also very often said it's better to finish hard workouts with a lot of reserves. By the way, I played shogi with him once. Shogi is a kind of Japanese chess. Anyway, when the former 5,000 meter Japanese record holder, Mr. Takaoka Toshinori, ran a 5,000 meter 13:20, which means 240 per kilometer pace, his usually 1,000 meters interval workout was 255 average, so 15 seconds per kilometer slower than his race pace. This kind of story is everywhere. In more radical cases, some male athletes got faster after they became a pacemaker for women. A husband of Mary Keitani, I forgot it was really Mary Keitani, by the way, but anyway, a husband of a Kenyan very successful women runner ran a half marathon 61 minutes after he became her pacemaker. So before he became a pacemaker of his wife, he wasn't so much successful as an athlete. So he made a decision to be a pacemaker for his wife. And after that, he ran half marathon 61 minutes with women training. At that time, around 2010, he was one of the top distance runners in the world. Athletes who keep good results, even in intense workouts, get faster most. This is an undeniable fact. But again, you need to recover quickly and you need to do these workouts with high frequency. Although Marius Bakken and I have a common basic idea about training, what Marius Bakken does and what I do are different, and what he suggests is very interesting to me. What he suggests is most relatively hard or intense workouts should be done at the point where your blood lactate concentration level is 2.3 to 3.0 millimole. It's very normal to me. This is slightly, it's very, easy workout for intense workout. I know this is a bit strange expression, but Marius Bakken does these workouts as intense workouts, but these intense workouts are easy workouts as intense workouts. And 2.3 millimole to 3.0 millimole training is slightly more intense than my moderate run. So this is moderate to hard run or hard run in my technical term. But what makes his idea very interesting to me is that he uses this workout with interval training or fart rate. He does not use continuous runs. This is completely my blind spot. I have never thought about it because training at the point where your blood lactate concentration level 2.3 millimole to 3.0 millimole is absolutely not hard effort. For me, it's lower than moderate race pace. It's lower than marathon race pace. So I never thought using interval workouts with this blood lactate level. The reason why he uses interval workout is because you can run faster at the same level of blood lactate concentration level if you use interval workouts. This is more practical for track runners, and in fact, he was a 5,000 meter specialist. For me, it is not a good idea because I'm a marathoner and continuous runs are more important than interval workouts from practical point of view. Approximately 90 to 95% of my marathon race pace is the intensity which my blood lactate concentration level reaches at 2.3 millimole to 3.0 millimole. By the way, many researchers and scientists say that marathon race pace is the intensity which your blood lactate concent level is 2.0 millimole. Based on my many tests, it's a lie. Probably it's true if you are a very slow runner like 4:30 marathoner. However, for me and most of my customers, it's not true at all because my marathon race pace is only 17 seconds per kilometer slower than my 5,000 meter race pace last year. And most of my customers run through a full marathon with only 24 seconds per kilometer slower than their 5,000 meter race pace. At this pace, it's impossible that blood lactate concentration level is only 2.0 millimole. A good friend of mine, Maeda Honami, runs a full marathon to 18:59 at only 11 seconds per kilometer slower than her 5,000 meter race pace. I'm in doubt if she is really so slow at her 5,000 meter race, but comparing her 10,000 meter race and 3,000 meter race results to her 5,000 meter race result, her 5,000 meter time is not significantly slow, and she does several short races from 3,000 meter to 10,000 meter a year. So that means it's not a significantly difference. Probably she's able to run through a full marathon only 12 seconds or something like that per kilometer slower than her 5,000 meter race pace. Then, in my case, or in her case, or in some of other Japanese marathoners' case, blood lactate concentration level at the marathon race pace should be more than 4.0 millimole. Probably 5.0 millimole or 6.0 millimole or something like that. Anyway, since Marius Bakken was a 5,000 meter specialist, he liked to use interval workouts or fart rate with a lot of reserves. If you are a marathoner or half marathoner, you better use continuous runs. However, some of his ideas were very impressive to me. First, he suggests to take relatively long recovery between fast running sessions where he wants to run at his 5,000 meter race pace. For example, if you take 2 minutes recovery between 300 meters or 4 to 5 minutes between 500 minutes fast running sessions, you can finish with tons of reserves even though the pace is fast. This idea can be well applied in the summer in Kyoto in Japan, where I live in now. In the summer, the minimal temperature is approximately 30 degrees and the maximal temperature is approximately 40 degrees in Celsius with a lot of humidity. As far as I know, Kyoto is the hottest place in the world considering the temperature and humidity. So, in the summer, almost impossible to do race-specific workouts for long-distance runners. But in this way, it's much easier to run at 3,000 to 10,000 meter race pace because body temperature gets lower during recovery sessions. Besides, it's easy to drink cold water and pour cold water over myself. Many people think that running fast and short is a good idea in the summer, but it's not 100% true because how much your body temperature increases depends on the product of the speed and the duration. Even if you run long, if the pace is slow, your body temperature does not go higher much. While even if you run relatively short, like 5K or 10K, if the pace is fast, your body temperature goes up rapidly. So, in the summer, I usually do a lot of moderate run and short intervals at faster pace with lower volume. But if I put long recoveries between 500 meters, I can repeat it many times at a relatively fast pace. At least much faster than marathon race pace with good reserves. This idea is very interesting to me. Also, in this way, it's easier to prepare for a marathon which is held in the early autumn, like Canada Marathon, which is held on the last Sunday in October, because you can do intervals at 5,000 meter to 10,000 meter race pace with relatively big volume easily in a hot condition. And now I'm talking about Kyoto in Japan, just as an example. But I know most of you live in a hot place like Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, or India. So in these heat conditions, you can use this way also. So I'm talking about Kyoto in the summer, just as an example. But if you live in a hot place, you can just do the same way. So, for example, you can do 15 times 500 meters with 3 minutes recovery or 4 minutes recovery at 5,000 meter race pace. It's easier to do it. You can finish that workout with a lot of reserves. So you can repeat it without so much fatigue. Also, he does what he calls sub-threshold workouts. The workouts at where the blood lactate concentration level is 2.3 millimole to 3.0 millimole twice a day. The reason why he separates it into 2 times is because he can increase the total volume with the same effort, with the same internal training load. Meaning he can do more good training with the same amount of fatigue. For marathoners, it's not always a good idea because we need to run long on a race day. So, 25 kilometer continuous run at blood lactate level 3.0 millimole is better workout than 2 times 13 kilometer continuous runs at blood lactate level 3.0 millimole in the morning and in the evening. However, again, in the summer in Kyoto, it's almost impossible to do a 25k continuous run at blood lactate level 3.0 millimole. In other words, 90% to 95% of my marathon race pace. Probably it's almost 100% of the marathon race pace for some of you if the blood lactate concentration level is 2.3 millimole to 3.0 millimole. But if I split it into 2 workouts, it's realistic workouts in the summer too. The biggest benefit is easier to do it in a relatively cool time, in the early morning and in the late evening, without destroying my daily schedule so much. I usually work 365 days a year, by the way. Although I believe that you need to do more race-specific workouts when a race comes closer to you, it's a good idea to do a part of what Maurice Bakken suggests to us in the fundamental period and special period. Also, it's interesting that he does 15 to 30 times 45 seconds fast and 15 seconds rest fart rate at his 5,000 meter race effort or race pace. If he does 30 times 45 seconds fast, 15 seconds slow, he started with slower pace and runs faster to the end, up to his 3,000 meter race pace. Many people believe that they need so-called VO2 max interval, a kind of long interval, 1,000 meter to 1,600 meter repetitions, to get ready for 5,000 meter to 10,000 meter races. But he says that this workout, in other words, 45 seconds fast and 50 seconds slow workout, is enough to get ready for a 5,000 meter race. Although he also used 4 to 6 times 1,000 meter right before an important 5,000 meter race. Interestingly, in my high school days, we often did 15 times 300 meter with 100 meter jogging recovery. So it was like 54 seconds fast and 28 seconds slow, instead of doing 45 seconds fast and 15 seconds slow. These two workouts are a little similar. And every year, in Japan, high school is 3 years, we produced 10 to 15 5,000 meter 14 minutes runners, and I was one of them. I mean, only in one high school. Only in my high school, we produced 10 to 15 5,000 meter 14 minutes runners without any long interval. Also, when I trained in Iten, in Kenya, many top runners did 15 times 600 meter with 200 meter recovery. But they walked in these 200 meter recovery sessions. That's why the ratio of fast sessions and recovery sessions were approximately 140 fast and 2 minutes slow. Recovery sessions were longer than fast running sessions. In the beginning, I was so surprised because no top runner in Japan trained like that. Most top runners do 1,000 meters with 200 meter jogging recovery, even if they prepare for a 5,000 meter, 10,000 meter, half marathon, or marathon. For example, 5 times 1,000 meter for 5,000 meter, 10 times 1,000 meter, and 15 times 1,000 meter for half marathon and full marathon. Although there are many more variations, the ratio of fast running sessions and the recovery session is approximately 3-on-1 if it's long interval. If it's short interval, something like 2-on-1. But I have never heard of that recovery sessions are longer than fast running sessions. But in a sense, it's a good idea because before we think about speed endurance, we need to address the neuromuscular system. In other words, your brain, kinetic neurons, sensory neurons, and muscle fibers. Simply speaking, sprinting performance is determined by the maximal power output of skeletal muscles, and long distance running performance is determined by the maximal power output of the heart muscles. Roughly speaking, it is true. But if you think only in that way, you are wrong. No matter how good a heart you have, you cannot run fast if your neuromuscle system is not get used to your goal race pace and resist the impact of hitting the ground long and fast. This is the reason why you need speed workouts. You can train your heart or metabolism with easy runs and moderate runs, but you still need to run at fast pace to get used to the speed itself. And if you are a half marathoner and full marathoner, you need to be resistant to the impact of hitting the ground for a long duration too. This is the reason why even adding one more easy run into your weekly training makes you a better half marathoner and full marathoner. The more you run, the more your legs can resist the impact of hitting the ground. Anyway, repeating not very hard but effective workouts more frequently is much better than very hard workouts less frequently. But you need to get used to fast speed. How can you solve this dilemma? You can solve this dilemma by putting longer recovery sessions between fast running sessions. Then you can run fast with good results at the same time, even if you live in a hot place like Kyoto in the summer. It will be easier to get it done. Marius Bakken wrote many more things in his books, but if I should choose only 2 valuable things to tell you, I choose first, repeating not very hard but effective workouts more frequently is much better than doing very hard workouts less frequently. And second, if you put longer recovery sessions between fast running sessions, you can learn how to run fast with good results, so you can recover faster from that workout. In terms of the latter thing, don't try to run as fast as possible because recovery sessions are long. Before you go for your speed workouts, know how much speed you need and just repeat that speed with as many as possible reserves. And in terms of the former point, moderate run and easy run are enough effective workouts for amateur runners. If you are in doubt, do easy run, moderate run, and supplemental speed workouts more frequently, and once a week short fast rec 20 times 1 minute fast and 1 minute slow. Only by combining these workouts, you can run much faster than now without any hard workouts. For half marathoners and marathoners, also long runs, otherwise you cannot run through the race no matter how good metabolism you have. I hope this video helps you a lot. Lastly, if you want to learn more about how to run faster, please click the link below to download my free ebook. The 3 things you should know to get faster dramatically without any injuries and overtraining. Thank you for your watching.
我は嵐し我が敵は我が身に潜む臆病像これに打ち勝つ我が筒は心に秘めたる国旗心国旗の心を持つ者は窓手を恐るることやある鬼人に恥じぬ勇持ちて我らはいかん心して立つ時こそは今なるぞ人に遅れて恥かくないざすら音なるまでは走れや走れ者ともに滴る汗を光らせてなどてたゆとことやある白血戦に鉄より固き心持つ修繕この肩すかれたる大和のこの今さらにまた世にずるみの誉れ嵐しここに集いたり叩き心のいい鉄に嵐し魂あるものの時こそ来たれれいいか一歩も後に引くなかれいざまずら音なるまでは走れや走れ者ともに滴る汗を光らせて名の手だゆのことやる前を望めば苦難なり右も左もまた苦難み空の月を見上げては七難八苦を望むのも我らが力試すため 常に前へと意地を見せん闘魂もゆる荒獅子の気鋭をここに今見ようや人生意に感じては聖碑を誰かあげつらういざ祭らおとなるまでは走れや走れ者ともに滴る汗を光らせて名どてたゆと